All right. So, welcome, guys. Welcome to this live session. We are here to discuss about machine learning operations. But before we start with machine learning operations, let us just go back a bit. Let's just move back a bit and discuss about machine learning in general. What is machine learning? A lot of you are in your bachelor's, a lot of you are in your master's, different stages of your life, and we are learning every day, right? We're learning every day. Every single day you will get, if you observe, if you sit at home at night and you look back at the entire day, you'll see that you've learned something or the else, or you've taught someone something or the else. Either ways it goes hand in hand. So something similar, but it applies to machines. The only difference is that they need some guidance generally. There is unguided learning as well, there is unsupervised learning as well, but generally they need supervision in the terms of experience or data. Okay, so if I have to put everything together, what is machine learning? Basically, there is a machine and you're teaching it. This machine is learning from various experiences that it gains. Okay, there is a certain data that it has to observe and it gains knowledge from that. Okay, now think of it like a child who's in the fourth grade. Like, I can give my example. I used to be a huge cricket fan. And I started watching cricket when I was in the fourth grade, and I started watching cricket at a very young stage, and I watched games. I used to listen to the commentators. I used to look at the players playing their shots, the bowlers bowling, captains setting their fields. I kept watching these games, and 10 years down the line, I guess this applies to every Indian. We know how big cricket buffs we are. So after maybe a certain period of time, you could be playing cricket in your society and try to imitate what they have done, or maybe do something better than them. So that is exactly what machine learning does. There's a machine which is learning from experience that is given to it from data, and then it applies it. As simple as that. Okay, that's the fundamental of machine learning. Now the machine can learn from data which is provided to it. This machine can learn from self-experience. Now we have students who go to various institutions for education and support. There are some students who just go to school and come back and sit at home and do self-study. They don't go for any tuitions. So either ways they're learning, both the students are learning, but the way in which they're learning is different. Okay, so that nearly sums up the fundamental of machine learning. Now I'm pretty sure that a lot of you, especially those who are in the fourth year, had machine learning as a subject in your third year, or it could be that it's there in your fourth year. MTech students will ideally have machine learning in their first semester, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so what happens there is precisely the mathematical and the algorithm approach is taught to you. Okay, but how to apply it, how to put it down on a system is not always very easy. Okay, not always communicated. So let us get that part out of our way. Okay, so we have a certain set of mathematical algorithms. There are some mathematical formula, there are some mathematical principles which we call algorithms. Okay, there are different ways in which a machine can learn. Okay, so I could have watched this cricket match that I was talking about. I could have watched it on Neo Sports. I could have watched it on 10 Sports. I could have watched it on Star Sports. I could have watched it on DD National. But I'm watching a certain game. The medium is different. I could watch different teams. I could watch India versus Pakistan. I could watch Australia versus England. Okay, there are different ways in which I could learn cricket, but obviously at the end of the day, I'm learning concepts of cricket. Similarly, different ways in which a machine can learn, but it will eventually learn how it can predict the future from the given data, the experience that it gains from that data. Okay, now if we talk about applying this on the PC, okay, I'm sure a lot of you have done this. We have a certain problem statement that's given to us. There's a data that's given to us, and we write few lines of code on our Jupyter notebook, and we import it. Import certain libraries from, say, sklearn or somewhere of those sorts, and we try to implement the data. Okay, try to implement the model as a whole. Okay, now where does this model learn from? It learns from the data. Fine, got it. What after that? What happens after that? Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Only poster can be seen on the screen.
Yeah. I haven't moved forward, sir. I haven't moved forward yet. Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay. So when we talk about the fundamentals, it is very important for you to know that it's not only about your local system wherein you should be able to run the code and predict things, okay, and try to do magic. You should be able to cater to the needs of the world, okay, and that is where a concept comes in which is known as deployment. Okay, whatever machine learning algorithm, all the code, all whatever that you've built in, if it's there in your system, well and good, amazing, it's good learning. But how can you, as a user, you've developed this prediction model that predicts whether a person, on the basis of certain parameters like the lifestyle of that person, it predicts whether this person could get a heart stroke at certain time. Okay, how will you make this available to the health services? How will you make this available to different health organizations? For that, you need to deploy this. Okay, so that is where the whole concept of MLOps comes in, to push your model which is there in your local system into the outside world, and then it can cater to, like, you're sitting in Mumbai, you can make this web application, you can develop a nice web application with a nice front end, and the people can throw in their values and get the predictions done all the way in Los Angeles, all the way in California, maybe somewhere in Brussels, somewhere in Honduras, anywhere. Why? Because it's been made global. Okay, so how that is done, what are all the steps involved, everything will be discussed properly in this session. To begin with, let's quickly understand the concept of deployment once again, but in detail. I have a machine learning algorithm, I have certain codes, I have a data set on which it works. Once the model has been trained and everything has been done, I can now fetch the model and give it to production. Production means that I am setting it up around a deployment environment, wherein people of, like, a business, if I'm a part of a company, people can use it. Okay, people can use it. The business head could use it while in one of his presentations, while depicting that, okay, see that your sales are going to go down if you don't do this. That is the purpose of a machine learning engineer, right, in your system. Otherwise, why would you need one? Okay. So where does MLOps come